creativity alone is not enough to sustain in the industry.
Oh,
It was a dream come true for me.
So is luxury brand management is all these things interconnected, or are they different verticals?
As scary as NIFT sounds, it's not.
Why did you choose Italy and why did you choose Polymada? What was the reasoning behind it?
It's not just about the education, it's also about the culture, the people of the country, because that also impacts the way you grow.
It's
as
because
well.
most of the people think fashion is equal to like
Everything is same, but
Yes.
it's really not.
And do you think a student should consider an overseas education exposure? Namaste. Welcome to podcast Global Thinkers. I'm Arun Agarwal, an overseas education expert. I'm sure most of you are liking the content we have been posting so far. Today I'm with Khyati Mittal, one of my very good students who had gone to Italy for her master's degree, and she's here today with us. Thank you, Khyati, for being with us.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Khyati. So please tell me, Khyati, something about yourself, your journey so far.
Hello everyone, I'm Khyati. I am born and brought up in Siliguri itself. Until the 6th grade, I did my education here in Siliguri from Auxilium Convent. After that, I moved to a boarding school, literally to the other end of the country. I went to Ooty for my education further, and I was there for 7 years.
Oh, wow, 7 years.
Yeah, in
Okay.
a boarding school,
Okay.
the best time of my life. Soon after, I moved to Bangalore for my undergraduation, and then soon after Bangalore, I moved to Italy for my master's, and now I'm back home. Professionally, now I'm a fashion designer. I work as a freelance designer for different brands. I help them develop collections and launch it strategically for the right market at the right time. And yeah, now I'm just on this journey trying to build forward.
Sounds very interesting because fashion and luxury is something which I really don't understand,
Of course.
even though I'm helping a lot of students. But this sounds really, really nice. So, Khyati, please tell me something. Why did you decide to study fashion? What was the reason, or what was the thought process behind it?
Funny enough, I actually didn't give it a thought. Ever since I was a kid, I just sort of had a calling for fashion. I know my mom also tells me stories about when I was a kid. I used to raid her wardrobe, just pick out different fabrics and try to put something together. So I think I always knew somewhere that fashion is all that I had. And I never wanted to try another option as well because I just knew this is what made me happy and I don't want to think about different options because sometimes if it makes you happy, it's enough.
You're
And-
passionate about it.
Exactly. It's not just about happy, exactly. It's also my passion. And I've seen my mom also being very inclined towards the industry. So I think that also helped me a little bit to decide easily about fashion. So I think did not have to give that much of a thought. This was just a natural calling to me. And I guess I just got lucky with that. But no regrets ever since after choosing the fashion industry. And it's just been amazing hereafter.
And I believe India market is growing like anything.
Oh, it's been crazy. Ever since I've started to read about the industry and get into the industry, the changes I've seen about the country in general, even after going to Europe, it's been so inspiring that it inspires me to do more in the industry as I'm growing further.
So please elaborate what exactly you studied at bachelor's level and what exactly you studied for masters.
So for my undergraduation, I did my bachelor's in degree design. I did my course in knitwear designing, under which we learned also about lingerie designing, sportswear. It's all about design, about how you stitch a garment, how the patterns are made, how you study your clients,
Okay.
and all of that. And for my master's, I did a course in business, which is all about the logistics, the behind the scenes, like how you analyze your market, how do you strategize your market, which sort of marketing needs is needed for a particular collection, and yeah, just the back end work of
So
it.
what I understand, in bachelor's you understood on how to create a product,
Yeah.
and in masters you learned on how to sell that
Sell the
product. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. So it's like the fashion industry is divided into two. One is the creative side, which is design oriented, and one is the logistical side, which is business oriented. Because creativity alone is not enough to sustain
Yes.
in the industry. Of course, everybody needs money eventually. So you need the business to help the creative, and you need the creative to help the business.
So I think it's a very good way for people who want to become entrepreneurs or start up their own design.
Exactly.
They should know the technical part as well as on how to sell the product.
Exactly.
The management part.
Yeah.
So is luxury brand management or is all these things interconnected, or are they different verticals?
I think it is interconnected. When you think about business, of course, one of the biggest important things about business is managing that business. So management as a whole comes under all of this. But what my course had specifically, as you mentioned as well, is about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I specifically chose the course which spoke about startup how you run a brand when you build it from the bottom. Because running a built brand is comparatively easier than building a brand. And that's exactly what I wanted to learn. So when you think about luxury management and brand management, it's sort of the whole same situation. But when you want to build a brand as an entrepreneur, that's when startup and business comes into question.
Perfect. And what I see from your profile is you studied in NIFT Bangalore,
Yeah.
which is one of the most reputed institutions in India for people who want to study fashion.
Yeah.
So please tell me something more about how was the whole process of getting into NIFT, the preparations, what are the different options in NIFT? Because a lot of my viewers who are in pursuing right now, they want to pursue their fashion degrees, they want to study in NIFT. I'm sure it's their dream destination. So could you please tell me about the entire process for NIFT?
Of course. First, I would like to say, as scary as NIFT sounds, it's not. Of course, it's the best college in India for design, but everyone is always scared for applying because, with the name comes the pressure.
Yes.
But there's nothing to worry about. In 11th and 12th, when we get to choose our courses, you're free to choose whatever you want. You can be a commerce student and still apply the same. You can be a science student and still get into NIFT.
This is something even I didn't know about. Okay.
Yeah, I was a commerce student
Okay.
and I did not choose art as my subject either.
So it could be any subject combination.
Yeah.
Okay.
I chose commerce with economics and math, and I still made it into NIFT. So it's nothing to worry about your subject choices. You're free to explore. After that, NIFT has an aptitude test. It's divided into two sections. One is a general aptitude test, which is about general knowledge, mathematical questions. And one is the creative aptitude test, which is about your creativity, how you analyze different creative questions differently based about your perspective. There's no right or wrong in design, as we always say. So you just have to do that examination. And then after that, if you clear that round, there's an interview round. And then after that, you get your ranks. And depending on your rank, you get the college of choice, because NIFT colleges are based on a rank basis.
Yes.
Best considered Delhi, Bombay.
Quite competitive.
Exactly. Getting into NIFT is difficult because of the ranking.
Yes.
And so better the rank, better the campus. I was in NIFT Bangalore. Of course, I would have aimed for Delhi, Bombay, but like I mentioned, it's all about the rank.
Yes.
And everybody gets a fair chance because there are more than, I think, 50 colleges of NIFT across country. So that's great. And there are so many different courses. Your rank also decides the course you get
Yes.
to choose. I initially wanted to do fashion designing, but my rank allowed me to choose knitwear designing, which are two different courses.
Okay.
It's very different for everybody to understand that.
It's
as
because
well.
most of the people think fashion is equal to like
Everything is same, but
Yes.
it's really not. Fashion
Yes.
is different, knitwear is different. There is fashion communication, which is about magazine and media. And then there's leather designing, there's accessories. Under accessories, you have shoe designing, bag designing, and jewelry.
That's a huge vertical.
Exactly. So when you say fashion, not everything comes under it. You really have to know your niche and then just explore that niche. I think, that's why I think NIFT is considered best, because it offers you the possibility to explore in whichever field that you like. And what's interesting is that when I chose knitwear designing, they had recently launched a double course option for us. So I also got to choose fashion designing and knitwear designing. So I did two courses simultaneously.
Excellent.
And
And it's a 4-year degree?
it's a 4-year
It's a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Because most of the bachelors, otherwise it is generally 3 years.
Yeah.
But in your case, it was by default, it had to be 4 years.
Yeah. Because first year is more of a general year where you learn everything. And then second year, third year, and fourth year is when you specialize and choose your stream of your choice, of course. And that's why it's a 4-year
And how did you
course.
go about the preparation for NIFT? Again, this is one question that a lot of my students have been asking me on how to prepare for NIFT. Any particular coaching or anything that you would recommend?
Personally, because I was in a boarding school, I did not have that much access to coaching, because in boarding school, we barely had access to internet. But I used to solve previous question papers just for the general aptitude, because personally, I didn't think you could really learn much about general knowledge. It's just about, reading current affairs
Yes.
and things like that.
Yes.
And for creative aptitude, I did speak to a few NIFT alumni, because I just wanted to understand what direction of creativity can they lead you towards, because creativity is very subjective. So just to understand how it really works, because you can't be taught creativity. So I
Yes.
don't think there's much to learn, but just explore like different questions, like dive into the internet and just look at
So
previous
you mean
papers.
to say even without a proper coaching, if the student is really passionate about, they can do their self-study,
Yeah.
dig up the questions from the previous years, do they? Of course, they have to understand their own creativity, and they can crack the NIFT entrance exams.
Yeah, I do believe that because personally, I also did not take much of training, and I do have a few of my friends who also got into NIFT with me, and they did not take coaching
Excellent.
either. But of course, I wouldn't say that you have to crack it without coaching. It's not a problem if you take coaching as well. It should just help you, and maybe you get a better rank. But it's possible to do it without as
And
well.
the top ones are NIFT Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's the top three. Yeah.
The top three.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your masters. You went to Italy, to Polymoda, one of the best in the world. Why did you choose Italy, and why did you choose Polymoda? What was the reasoning behind it?
I mean, with Italy, I did not have much of, again, a thought process because everybody knows they rule the world of fashion
Yes.
along with France and New York and everything. But I think Italy just felt right for me at that moment. Also, because it's not just about the education, it's also about the culture, the people of the country, because that also impacts the way you grow. And moving to a different country with not knowing a single person, it really does matter.
Yes.
So it's not just about education. But of course, Polymoda, like you mentioned, is in top 10 countries, top 10 fashion colleges in the
College in the
world.
world.
So, of course, there was no doubt I wanted to study there. And more than that, it was about the curriculum. Every time I looked at a curriculum which was about business, it spoke about management. But I wanted to learn about startups, how you start a brand and how you run the brand. And also, when you look at the alumni, like I was mentioning, that you can't be taught creativity, it comes with experience.
Experience.
So when your professors have that experience, they are able to give you that experience. So when I went to Polymoda, I met my professors who were working with Bulgari, Tom Ford, Gucci.
Wow.
So when you work with those brands so closely, of course, they have something to offer to you. And through them, I attended my first Milan Fashion Week when I was in Italy, which was
A dream for
it was a dream come true for me.
Yes.
And we had the Gucci show was hosted in Florence, which is the city I used to live in, and seeing the team there, seeing the designer of a big fashion house. So it was just the right choice at the moment. And yeah, Polymoda was just what I needed.
So, did you get any chance to do a part-time job or an internship? Any exposure? Any similar? You got any exposure on that?
I did meet industry people. I did go to brands. We were visiting brands all the time, visiting factories all the time.
Real time industry visits.
Yeah. We used to have so many guest lectures. People used to come from different international brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. So we had all of that. But of course, we couldn't do part-time job because there are laws in Italy about students
Yes.
doing part-time jobs, and especially on visa and everything. So there were a little complications in terms of that. But we had enough guest lectures with the industry people to have enough insights with them. And our field visits were amazing. Like I mentioned, the
Yes.
Fashion Week and Gucci coming to college. It was just amazing.
This is unbelievable. I mean, Gucci
Of
and all these
course.
brands coming to you and you getting hands-on experience.
Yeah.
So, what difference do you think was the way you studied Indian abroad? And do you think a student should consider an overseas education exposure?
Yeah. I definitely think going overseas is the exposure everyone needs, not just academically, but also how it changes you as a person. When I was here in India, the way I used to think about fashion and now the way I think about fashion, it's a 360-degree turn
In less than 1 year.
in less than 1 year. Exactly.
Yes.
So I could imagine what 2 years or 3 years can do to a
Yes.
person. So I think it's definitely important, not just for you academically, like I mentioned, it's also about changing your perspective, because once you step out of the country and you see the bigger picture, you realize how much more there is in the world and how much there is to explore.
Yes.
And you don't have to choose and decide just now. The whole point of moving outside is to get the chance to explore, because the more you explore, the more you know, and the more you know, the better it is, of
And
course.
any difference in teaching methodology?
I would not say that the Indian professors don't have experience. Of course, the Indian professors I had in NIFT were amazing. All of them amazing experience from the industry. So quality of education is good in both the countries, I would say. But I think in Italy, what I really appreciated was the student-teacher bonding. Being able to talk to them about your career, not just in the college, but outside, like helping. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I know which professor in Italy I could walk up to and be like, hey, I want to build this brand. Do you think this is a feasible idea? So having that conversation, I think, was one thing that I
Excellent.
personally preferred a lot.
Excellent. So overall, what you would say, the overall experience in Italy, I mean, is it safe for the students? What are the cities in Italy a student should consider? What are the different institutions in Italy a student should consider to study fashion?
I think Italy is an amazing country to live in. I used to live in Florence and I can't stop talking about it. I have so many things to say about Florence, especially the people. When you think about hospitality, Italians know what they're doing. You could be a stranger to someone, but if they see that you need help, they will stop their work to help you because
Wow.
that's just how that country functions. Everyone is like a family to them. So it's so nice to have a country like that, so welcoming when you're such a new student, you know nobody. So I think Italy is definitely one of the my favorite countries now, and it is very safe. I've lived in Florence for 10 months. I've been out, I've roamed around, so I don't think there's anything that anyone should be afraid of. Especially, like I mentioned, people are so helpful. I've had instances where somebody didn't need to help me, but they still did. And I think that's very important when you're moving countries, because if the country itself is not welcoming to you, it will never feel like home. And I think with Florence, I got very lucky. I've been to different cities in Italy. Of course, I've been to Milan, I've been to Rome, and I feel the same about all these cities. And there are so many different institutions in Italy. Of course, I had Polimoda, then there's Institute of Marangoni, there's Milan Institute of Design, there's IED, and there is
Yes.
also Domus Academy,
Yes.
which is very famous in Italy.
In Milan, yeah.
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 So I think these are the few colleges that
And I believe
could be
being
considered.
being in Italy, you are on a Schengen visa, you get an opportunity to travel across Europe.
Exactly.
That's a very big
Yeah.
add-on. That is
So-
something as students you must tell the students.
No, that was my favorite part, because I got to travel to so many countries in Europe when I was there. I was there for barely 11 months, but every time I had a break, I knew I was going across
I did the
Europe.
same during my study.
No, of course. I mean, it's so easy to travel around Europe when you're in Europe.
Yes.
So I think
And they're so easily accessible.
exactly, like there are
Yes.
trains available, there are
Yes.
buses available. So it's not even, it's very
Yes.
budget friendly for students as well.
Yes.
So I think it's nice to go out and explore a little bit,
Yes.
because the world
Move
is
out of a
much
comfort zone.
bigger than we think it is.
Excellent. So now tell me something about your collection. I mean, so I believe fashion and design students do need to make a collection
Yeah.
for their bachelor's and masters.
Yeah.
So could you please tell us something on that?
Yeah, so when I did my collection for my undergraduation, that was the first time I was working on a collection, because that's when I started studying fashion. My collection was inspired by us humans. It was called Who Are You? Because I have noticed this stigma around us. When everyone asks you, who are you? You always need to have a specific answer. But personally, I don't believe in that. I have my strong opinion on we don't need to be fit into a box, and that's what my collection was inspired by. So yeah, my theme, it's funny enough, I was on a phone call with one of my friends, and we were having a random conversation about haircuts for some reason. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Miley Cyrus's dad has been known for promoting this hairstyle called the mullet hairstyle, and it's known like business in the front, party at the back. So it was just inspired by that, because my collection was, you don't really have to be this one person all the time. If you have to put up a front for some time, you can always be someone else whenever you choose to be. And that's what I love about fashion as well, because you don't have to be what people think you are.
Ah.
You can choose to be whoever you want, and that's just the beauty in it. And that's what my collection was inspired by when I was doing my bachelor's. And then when I did my master's, it was about startup, like I mentioned, and so we had to launch a brand. And the biggest difference between the European market and the Indian market is about sustainability. Of course, the European market is much bigger than the Indian market in terms of sustainability, because they've been in the industry for a much longer time. But I think that's what I learned from Europe. And that's why my startup in Europe was inspired by sustainability. It was a brand that was based on the concept of upcycling. So what we did was take clothes from people that you no longer needed and make new collection out of those used clothes.
Okay.
So
Kind of recycle them?
no, not recycle,
Okay.
upcycle them. So
Upcycle.
it's like you give me a used pair of clothing, which is in good condition, of course. I upcycle it in the sense I transform it into some new designs, and then you can just wear it. Because
Wow.
the whole idea
Yeah.
is to avoid these clothes from going into the landfill.
Landfill.
Because we have this concept that once you've worn a piece of clothing, it needs to be thrown. But a clothing has much more longer life expectancy.
Agree.
Life.
Because I've been reading a lot of articles on this quick fashion industry.
Yeah.
Every 30 days they launch a new design, and
Yeah.
then it becomes obsolete in 90 days.
Yeah.
And it goes into the dumps and the landfills.
Yeah, which is actually really harmful.
Harmful.
Like personally, also, like I was mentioning, how I think about design before going to Italy would not have given this a thought.
Excellent.
But now it's made me so conscious that I don't.
Sustainable design.
Exactly. So now I'm just like, there's so much more to do. It's not just about creating something that looks beautiful. If it's gonna kill the planet, who are you gonna make it
Super.
for?
I'm so glad.
So I think that was very inspiring for me. And yeah, that's why the startup was also based on that. And it was a pretty good assignment, I hope.
And so this is something I really appreciate. I mean, in European countries, they just don't at looking at creating value.
Yeah.
It has to be created sustainably.
Exactly.
My profit should not hamper the environment or people around me. That is something that's very, very important.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the difference in the consumers in India and European consumers? I mean, let's say a person buying a luxury brand or a product in India or in Europe, what is the thought, what is the difference in their behaviors?
First, I think sustainability. European consumers think about it. They think about what they're buying and not just about the brand they're buying. One of the strongest things I saw in Europe was people are ready to boycott a brand like Gucci if they're not being sustainable,
Is it?
if they're not being ethical. And that, I think, is power, because
Aha.
European market is not price sensitive at all, and everybody knows sustainability comes at a price. I think, which is also why India has still not been able to adapt to that, because as a country we are still very price sensitive. Of course, our economy is growing now, but it's
Yes.
going to take a while for people to think about what they're buying and if the product is worth the money they're paying for. And I think, yeah, that's the biggest difference between the consumers.
So does that mean that if a product is expensive but it's sustainable or it's coming with from the right resources, people don't mind paying extra?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
That in Europe, people do not mind paying extra for
Okay.
sustainability because it's more ethical, it adds more value, it has a story to it, it has a purpose to it. So I think these are very valuable concepts in Europe.
Excellent.
And soon it will be in India as well. As we've already seen, India is evolving now. We have also started talking about sustainability. But of course, we're a huge country and it's going to take us a while, but we are moving in the right direction.
And why do you think Italian brands are doing so well all over the world? What special they have? I mean, you must have noted something that their creativity, or I mean, all the big brands in fashion industry, be it Ray-Ban or anything, they all come from
Yeah.
Italy. What special, what ecosystem they have that they're so good with all these designers and fashion?
I think with Italy, one of the strongest things they have is their craftsmanship and the value they give to their craftsmanship.
Okay.
If something needs time and a slow process to be made the right way, they don't mind spending that time on it. It might give you monetary loss, but it's okay for them because everything has its own time and value, and it has to be made right. So I think their idea of craftsmanship and the value they add to their craftsmanship and perfectionism for them is really important. And I think that's why Italy is known all over the world for when it comes for quality. Like even when I was in Florence, Florence is known for their leather craftsmanship. And I have been to so many leather stores in Florence just to see how this process really works and how these craftsmen people are really passionate about their craft. And for them, it's not just a way of earning their livelihood. When they talk about their craft, you really understand their story and you understand why they do this and how passionate they are about it. So I think that's why Italy is known.
So they
about.
just don't do it for the heck of money.
No.
They do it because it's their passion.
Yeah. If something takes time because it needs to be made right, they don't mind spending that time on it.
So, what kind of students you would recommend to consider their careers in fashion or design? Because I get a lot of students, let's say they're in class 11th or 12th, they don't know what to figure out.
Yeah.
So they generally come to me, sir, I want to study design or I want to study fashion. What do you think a student, kind of particular quality or thought process a student should have to study fashion or design, or let's say anything similar in creativity field?
I think the first thing I want to say is studying fashion is not as glamorous as fashion looks. It's really not. That was one of my misconceptions too. When I entered NIFT, I thought the full day, I just have to dress up to college and, look at runway shows, but it's really not about that. I've had college from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's all about the hustle behind. So I think that's one of the most important things people need to understand about the industry. It's not as glamorous as it looks. There's a lot of work behind it to make it look the way it looks. So I think if you have passion is very important in fashion, because the work hours it needs, the kind of hustle you have to do, you can't do it unless you feel it. you can't force yourself to do it, because creativity can't be forced. And that's, I think, one of the strongest messages I would give to people, because don't force it. If you're meant to do this, you will be inclined to do it yourself. You wouldn't mind working 12 hours on a desk sketching designs again and again until you hit the right design, because that's just how it works. Because like I said, you can't force creativity. So I think that's one of the most important things to consider before you get into the industry. Like, don't let the glam fool you. There is a lot of work behind the scenes.
The reason why I'm smiling is because this is exactly what most of my students think.
Yeah, I could imagine, because I had the same thought process, but I went to the college. I've been through the struggle, so I know what it feels like. I did have my moments where I was just like, this is not what it looks like. So why am I working so much? Where is the runway? Like, can I just not put my designs on the runway already? But it doesn't work like that.
I'm glad we discussed this, because a lot of students just look at Instagram and they
Yeah.
think it's very glamorous. They know much of hard work. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
My last question of the day. So, Niyati, I mean, you've done your bachelor's from one of the best institutions, master's from one of the best institutions. You've done so well for yourself already. So now, what's your future plan? What next?
I want to be an entrepreneur. I've been very certain of that, and I want to do it through the fashion industry. Before going to Italy, I probably would not have had a solid answer to this, but now I know I want to build a brand which solves a purpose. I just don't want to create just another fashion brand that is just selling clothes that are made to look beautiful, because creating something beautiful is not difficult, but creating something that solves a purpose and has a story is much more important to me now. I always say this one thing: I want to build something for the people, by the people. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what my purpose is exactly, and then I'll be ready to launch that.
I think that this is one key takeaway message for the day is solve with a purpose.
Purpose,
Because
yeah.
most of the people don't know what they want to do, or they just do it for the heck of it.
Yeah.
They don't know the purpose behind it. Thank you, Khyati, for being here. Thank you so much for giving such valuable insights to my students. I am sure most of my students who want to pursue their career in fashion industry would have got a lot of insights today. If you like the content, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and please do like the video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Khyati.
Thank you.